Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Epic Show, home of the most epic music on the planet. And this is the Epic Texan hanging out with you here. And we've got an awesome show for you. We got some more music debuts, some new music from bands that I've played before, and a whole lot more. But right now, I am very honored because this week's featured artist is Color Chemistry. And not only do I get to talk about them, I get to talk to them on the show because they are my first special guest. So right now, we've got... Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, I am Garrett from Color Chemistry, guitar and vocals.
I'm Rob from Color Chemistry, all the other stuff except for drums.
Right on, and thank you guys for being on the show. It is an honor.
Thank you for having us, man.
Absolutely. So let's do a little history. Tell us about how Color Chemistry started first.
Well, it basically we started off as just a guitar duo. It was me and my old, childhood friend. We played guitar growing up together, decided to see if we could find other guys, like when we were going into college, who wanted to jam with us. And we started to kind of just, over about a year, had about 8 songs put together, found a bass player, found a drummer, and then kind of rode with that for a couple years. And then, members falling off here and there to the point where we get to like 2016, which is right. Let me backtrack. This was back in 2012, 2013. We really started to get involved in 2013. So about 2 years after that, we had gone down to pretty much 2. And then, Rob came into the band around the summer of 16, and we released a record that he actually didn't perform on, but he played the debut show of that record in its entirety on bass and added synthesizer to it. And from then on, we had a party of the next 6-7 months. Kind of went separate ways with our drummers somewhere around the time Hurricane Harvey came around in mid-2017. And we kind of just had to figure things out going on from there. And Rob and I just really bit the bullet and started hustling around that time. Or not even around that time, I guess going into the summer of 2018, and kind of had to refresh Color Chemistry from the ground up and not necessarily reinvent the wheel, but take what our strengths were and really hustle with that and kind of make a new sound that was going to work for, 2 people, because we had just kept fallout after fallout with these previous band members. We needed to make it work for us so we weren't getting put in the same situation and losing momentum as a band. And now we're here in 2020, and with 4 shows under our belt for the year up into January, everything gets canceled. So here we are.
Yeah, I completely understand. With the whole COVID-19 issue and everything, and unfortunately shows getting canceled, and venues having to shut down and everything. But I know that you guys are still working on music, and you've got this new release. Tell us about this new release.
So the new release is a song called Reach for the Sky. We did not realize when we started, we went in the studio to begin tracking this thing for real in like February, was it? Early March?
But we had been working on that song in particular since like maybe November.
Yeah, and we had no idea that arriving the week that we were releasing it, that so many people were going to be so pissed off about so many things. So it just so happens it's a really, probably our heaviest, angriest, thrashiest song we've ever done. And I couldn't pick a better time to just drop some music to rage at the gym to than right now. So we went back with real drums and real bass on this one. Our last recording, our full length, The Light Above, we intentionally did totally electronic drums and bass for the whole record, for artistic reasons and kind of as a middle finger just in production in general to a lot of metal bands that basically record like that anyway, but try and make it sound like it's real. So we did it kind of ironically, and now we're back to a totally organic, very thrash sound on the side. We think people are really going to enjoy it.
Right on. And you've got some more music that you're working on as well, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of just going along the lines of So let's backtrack to the beginning of the year. We talk about shows and venues and how this is happening, and things are dropping off, and what is the artist going to do? But something that Rob and I have been trying to grow on, I guess, is because we're a little bit late to the party, is with how organically people are growing through technology, whether it's Spotify ads and streams or just content on YouTube and Instagram, and keeping things like looking good and sounding good and a lot of engagement. And it's all this common sense personal stuff, but it's an adjustment from how things were, and you're constantly trying to figure out where are you supposed to be, or how do we get on to what's going on right now. So instead of releasing this, we had originally talked about, I guess, back at the end of 2019 about doing an EP sort of thing, like where there's like 3 to 5 tracks that are thrown together, 20 minutes of music. And then as we were getting into this year, even before all the COVID stuff, we were talking about like, well, why don't we spread it out and we'll put out these demos, and we'll see with our producer, Tony Brown, what he thinks are the strongest or what we can work with the most. And then we'll release them like about 6 weeks apart from each other, or 6 to 8 weeks. And that way there's content that people can be excited about and engage with. And it doesn't make this whole, explosion of here's all this music right here, and then it falls off 2 weeks later. I wanted to make sure we were keeping the interest going. And so, as we were demoing out these tracks, 3 of them really stood out. One of them is Reach for the Sky, the one that's coming out on Friday, June 5th. And there's a couple others that we're working on, all in tandem with each other, to make sure that by the time one's getting promoted and released and being put on these Spotify playlists and getting out there, that the other one's just about ready to get mastered, so that we have plenty of time to kind of look ahead and see how these projects are working, so we can, I guess, improve upon what we had just done. Be like, oh, we could have done this better from a production standpoint, or we could have done this better from a marketing standpoint. Let's try this.
Right. Completely understandable. And so talking about studio-wise, you've got this studio. Tell us more about that.
Sure. Well, I've been doing audio engineering for a very long time, and kind of picked it up along the way, mostly to just make the songs that I wrote sound better. And along the way, we've become more and more self-reliant from a recording standpoint for a variety of reasons. I mean, not the least of which is if you're paying on the clock by the hour to go into a studio that has really good gear, most of the time you do not get the performance you want because there's a lot of pressure and anxiety. It's a foreign environment. You're not relaxed, and it sounds stiff. And I've heard so many bands' recordings captured with really amazing gear and a really shitty performance. So we have, since 2 records ago on our Cover Chemistry EP, decided to consolidate gear. Our producer, Tony Brown, someone that Garrett mentioned, is someone that I produce a lot of records with, independent of Color Chemistry anyway. And over the course of the last year, we came into a really good spot where we got a commercial space to do our recordings, and it's completely autonomous, so we can make our own schedule. We have an abundance of really high quality and totally proprietary gear. And so coming into this year, we kind of had an advantage a lot of other bands didn't have, because lockdown took place, but essentially it was me and one other person rolling through the studio, and Garrett. So we were able to continue to work on our stuff even after almost everybody else was having to cancel their studio bookings for the year. And get completely stagnated while recording. We just completely pushed ahead, and it didn't slow us down. In fact, it actually freed up quite a bit of time for us to really dial in what we wanted to do. So the studio is going well. We are actually really insanely busy right now, but we've been able to do pretty much anything that we want for Color Chemistry. We can be completely autonomous in how we record. It costs nothing out of our pockets to do it, because it's all from in-house, and what we're hoping, Garrett and I both, is producers and engineers and players that people like the sound of what we're doing, and then they want to come work with us and come do some really awesome recordings too. We have a really great setup.
That sounds awesome, man. So if an artist would like to come and do some recordings with you, how would they reach you?
So I'm going to be dropping this website on Monday. I don't know what time that you're going to be posting this, but there is a website going up on Monday called elevatethemix.com, and you can go there to basically submit your information, and then we can get a recording process going. I'm booking about 2 months out right now because we're completely booked up for the summer. But artists that want to work with us, especially artists in the metal community, Garrett and I both are a little cynical about how metal music is recorded these days. I don't know if anybody else has picked up on this. This might just be one man's opinion, but we have lost a lot of the organic anger that used to be a part of heavy metal. It used to be raw, and it used to be really angry and a very visceral experience. And right now, most metal that I'm hearing, it sounds like a house band with a rotating cast of singers. But the completely robotic nature of how metal is being produced right now is something that we do not do, and artists that want to do something that sounds like what it actually sounds like should consider working with us.
Right on. So yeah, the website should be up, during this episode. And so what else have you got going on for Color Chemistry? You got any shows coming up now that some venues are starting to open up and everything?
We can give you a sneak peek at some plans that we have. Basically, here's what we're doing. In terms of, we were actually, before this COVID thing hit, about to announce a variety of tour dates and very ambitious touring schedule. Of course, that all got shut down. What we're doing this year, in lieu of doing a tour or anything like that, is we're going to be releasing a live album and a live performance concert.
Full band.
Of our A Light Above record, the one that had the electronic drums and bass. We're going to be doing The Real Deal, reinterpreted with a full band. That's going to be in the fall. Yeah, these songs, we went out and did dozens of shows for this record. A lot of it was at a two-piece, but when we did the Whiskey A Go-Go in Los Angeles, we hired a drummer specifically for that show.
It brought a lot of breath of life into some of these songs.
Yeah, it really elevated things to another level. So we're going to be doing a live album to commemorate that, and a live concert performance for that. That's probably it for live for us for the year.
With the exception of, I think there's a couple things floating around, but they're just kind of gigs here and there. There's nothing that's, I guess, super duper noteworthy announcement attached to something
We're
real
gonna
big.
hit it really hard next year, but right now with social distancing measures and venues being closed, the economics of touring is completely not feasible until everything opens way back up and the audience is interested in doing it. And we're really excited that we're going to be bringing out a completely new version of Color Chemistry, big show, the lights, the works, everything that we usually do. But we're kind of in the cocoon right now working on all this material and putting together a new live band that's a little bigger than what we had previously done. So I think our fans can expect some really awesome content from us this year, and then very likely early next year we're going to be hitting the road probably harder than we ever have.
We for sure have, we were supposed to have been opening for Power Glove at Scout Bar in Houston back in, I think, early May. And thankfully, it's been rescheduled to same venue in April of 2021. So that's really the only thing I guess we have going very far ahead, is that's going to be a bigger show. It's a show not to miss, full piece act, all of our lights, all of our fog, the entire entertainment side of what we do alongside musically to really elevate the experience. I'm not just seeing a band going up there and playing a recital for people. It's going to be it's going to be a freaking show, and we're excited to bring that stuff out, when people are ready, because we sure as hell are itching for it.
Yeah, I can imagine. And honestly, I'm glad, that you still get the opportunity, to have a show postponed instead of just fully canceled. I've been hearing, a lot of shows and some tours just completely canceled and be like, okay, we just can't do this, because of the whole COVID-19 issue and touring schedules, conflicts and stuff like that. And honestly, I cannot wait for the new music and the new shows and everything. So if I'm a new fan of Color Chemistry, where can I find you guys?
Well, we're listed all over the place. So we have our own website, our .com, which is www.colorchemistryband.com. As simple as that. And that literally on the top part of the bar has every social media link. But we're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, pretty much the exact same name, Color Chemistry Band or Color Chemistry Official, all across the board for all that stuff. YouTube as well. Our single on June 5th is not only going to be released via Spotify and Apple Music and Pandora, it's going to be on YouTube as well. And it's a platform for our Alive Above album, the Play on A Light Above, where we're going to be able to I think, have some really cool live footage of that, as well as having like a stream serviced album on its own with the production we're using. So, we're pretty much everywhere you can find it.
All right, well, there you guys go. You heard it right there from Color Chemistry. Make sure to check them out at their website. Check them out on all the social medias. Make sure, you stream their music, buy their music. And you guys have merch, right? Do you have merch?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do have merch. And because of what's going on right now, we haven't been able to move that inventory. But so if you go to any of our social medias, or if you go to our website, colorchemistryband.com, you'll see that there's a link for the store. And especially for the Houston folks out there, I'm able to go out and ship it and be my own UPS kind of driver with that stuff. But there's the whole 9 yards. It opens up a store powered by Square, and it has all the photos you need of all the different merchandise, the price, the shipping, the sales, all that kind of stuff. And we've been able to do that over the last month or so, is send merchandise out, literally from our bedroom, just to make sure it's moving and it's putting a little bit of revenue in the account. And some of that stuff, kind of aids where we're not touring, we're not spending money in touring. We're able to actually put money into other things like, marketing of these singles and stuff.
Point of clarity, when you say our bedroom, you mean your bedroom. No. I have a separate bedroom.
I am his wife now.
Ah, you heard it first. They are now a couple.
Nope.
Just kidding. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the show. It's been an honor.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Absolutely. All right. So now we're going to play some Color Chemistry